could not have started the show any other way, especially on this night. What's going on, everybody? Darnell Sparrow here, and it is Wednesday night. It is Hum Day. It is the Get Snap podcast. Got my boy Antoine Smooth on the other side of Memphis. What's going on?
Man, what's going on? How you doing?
You know what? I gotta start the show on a somber note. For those that don't know, I mean, if you been following social media all day, you should know. Actually, we lost two legends today. We lost a legend in pro football, and we lost a legend in pro wrestling. And for those who don't know what I'm talking about, we lost one of the legendary running backs in the NFL history, believe the youngest man to be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I'm talking about Gale Sayers. I mean, he was before Walter Payton, before Barry Sanders. Man, he probably the most dangerous running backs in the league. And I actually have a picture, well, my dad has it at least. He got an autograph of Gale Sayers for me, and that picture is about 30 years old, and he still has that picture to this day. So I had to at least be no more than 10 years old, give or take, on that picture. I believe he passed away at 77 years old. And, of course, we lost Road Warrior Animal. And, that news, I mean, it came out of nowhere. 60 years old. I mean, he was still out there, doing shows, being himself, and just going through the, the different websites, different people posting. Nobody hasn't said a bad thing about Warrior Animal, and obviously he was definitely well respected, even to the younger generation, past generation. But he's going to be definitely one of the topics we're going to talk about tonight because it is Wednesday night Q&A. But before we do that, as always, we got to give shout out to the boss man, the creator of Snap Customs, Mr. Mick Roberts, and I promise you he is coming back. He will. Yeah, busy man doing busy things. Boy Antoine here always got my back. But got to do some quick plug-ins. We got nonstop wrestling shows, USA Championship Wrestling. You already missed tonight. It started at 7:30. It's the Jimmy Hart Showcase of Stars tonight, Thursday, Friday. And, of course, there's the Jerry Lawler 50th anniversary show at the ballpark, USA Championship Wrestling taping. So there's a lot going on. So, like I said, there's a show that was tonight. Blake Christian versus Chris Styles of Straight Up Violence, main event at that event. Of course, the Mother of the South, Jimmy Hart, was there, along with some other stars. Tomorrow night, Nathan Starr against Devon Kane, is the main event. And these seats are $10, people. 7:30 bell time. I'm not going to go through the whole cards. I don't want to, put people leave talking about that. But Friday night, I think that's the one I'm going to go to because James Ellsworth's going to be there. And somebody, I don't even think, I did see him in person once. And D'Lo Brown, he's in the main event Friday night. He and Nathan Starr is going to meet the Brothers of Seduction. And like I said, James Ellsworth is also going to be there. The address, 45 Broadview Street, Jackson, Tennessee. Like I said, tonight, Thursday and Friday, seats are 7:30 bell time. Of course, the Jerry Lawler 50th anniversary show. We talked about that on the podcast. So you ain't got tickets. I don't know what to tell you. You're just going to be that one that's going to have to listen to all the fun that everybody else has. Yeah, man. So I'm going to just kick it off. We talked about Road Warrior Animal. And I kind of added this one. This was my question since it's Q&A time. What was one of the memories? I'm not even going to say with Road Warrior Animal. What's one thing when you remember the Road Warriors or LOD, depending on how old you are, what's the one thing you remember?
Well, the one thing I remember about the Road Warriors, and I'm going to go back to this here. I was about maybe 4 years old, I think, 3 or 4. And the Road Warriors actually came to Memphis at the Mid-South Coliseum. I mentioned this before. And they went against Jerry Lawler and Austin Idol. And these dudes, man, when they came in, and Paul Ellering was there with them, and these two big dudes, man, they was intimidating. All they did was run to the ring and beat you down. You know, it was crazy because I said, man, these dudes are. Because as a kid, I was scared. I'm like, man, these two dudes here finna hurt Lawler and Idol. You know what I mean? But that's one of the memories I remember. Another one is, I believe, when they went against the Koloffs.
Okay.
When they feuded with the Koloffs. I think that was another good one. You know, you had two, the tag team, 2 top tag teams, the Koloffs and the Road Warriors, and they had some good feuds going on. I think I got one more. I remember the Road Warriors debuting in WWE. Now, everybody has mixed opinions about that, about their debut. Like, you know, of course, they didn't have the success they had in Jim Crockett or WCW, but I believe they had a pretty good run, you know, as a tag team. Of course, they came back later in the Attitude Era. And then LOD 2000, that's another one too. But
you know, one of my,
I think that's a good one.
I think like one of my memories is the 2 times they turned heel. One, the time when they turned on Sting, and then the time when they turned on Dusty and put the spike in his eye.
Oh yes, how could I forget that one?
I mean, you talking about 2 big boys. I mean, they were just guys who just went in, and if you remember, especially in the Crockett days, they used to hit the ring and just beat you up. They didn't worry about no intro.
Mm-mm.
They didn't get paid by the hour.
That's right. Paul Ellering had the newspaper. He pointed to the ring, and that was it. Yeah.
About those AWA Jim Crockett Road Warriors.
Yeah.
There was nobody bad. And there was better. Now, when like I said, when they got to the WWE, and now when it was the LOD, you can tell that they were just slowly, you know, kind of weaning out, but they were still badass. They were still winning tag belts. You know, they still had good rivalries. I didn't really like that. I didn't like LOD 2000. I know they tried. I didn't like the storyline they did with Hawk when he lost the Titantron. I think they was kind of reaching a little bit on that.
Yeah.
Like I said,
I remember Hawk coming to Power Pro Wrestling as well. Remember that?
I remember that too. It didn't even look like him. He had a head full of hair.
Yeah.
I mean, even the voice wasn't as strong as it normally was.
Mm-hmm.
But he was still a big boy then. But like I said, the Road Warriors, they with the Lord right now. They're gonna be doing what they do best in that big wrestling community in the sky. Right. You should say 60 years old. That's and even in wrestling, that's still a young man.
Yeah, he is.
They didn't really. I didn't really get any reports and everything on how he passed. But I mean, this 2020 is crazy.
Yeah, I think this morning they said it was natural causes, but they really, they ain't got the autopsy yet. So hopefully we'll know in the coming weeks.
Right, like I said, he was still doing a lot of traveling, still on the go, still promoting. But like I said, just like with the Chadwick Boseman thing, you never know.
Never know.
I think we never knew.
Yep.
But let's get on to the main questions, and these are actually the questions from the last Q&A we didn't get a chance to answer. Because like I said, there were a lot of them. But these, again, some issues. And one thanks for everyone who sends questions in, showing us some love. But we're just going to get down to it. We're going to talk about the Hot Blondes, Austin and Pillman. Okay. Were they as good as advertised?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. at first, you saw them, you thinking like, okay, this is just gonna be this, putting other tag teams over. But as they, got to know each other, as they gel well, I noticed even as a kid, I'm like, these guys can work, can mesh well together. They have a chemistry, and that's a lot of tag teams missing now is chemistry. And these two had it, Austin and Pillman. And I think they could have went further than they could, but it was management. It was kind of like they tried to kill their own creation. They've like, well, these guys weren't supposed to be to be over. We supposed to put them over on other people, right?
Right.
But I could see them going further though.
Right. And here's the thing, I'm gonna see, because like I said, when Austin came in, I mean, he was still young because he was coming from world class. He had an awesome feud with Chris Adams.
Oh yeah.
WCW, still a young kid, still trying to find that next. Had a manager. So I think he was already on that rise. He was the TV champion. He was already on that rise. And Pim, I mean, again, Pim was just like him. Came in, you made a name for yourself. But I think that heel Pillman, that heel Pillman works for him. I'm not even talking that loose cannon. Just, he was still flying Brian. He was just more mellowed down. And he focused on him. And you got two guys with egos like that, and you put them together. You got one guy who can take it to the air. You got one guy take it to the mat. It was almost like a power and speed kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it worked. Why did they kill it? I don't know. I don't know if they saw Austin being the biggest star, which, well, we all know what happened as time went on. But that could have been Pillman too.
Mm-hmm. Because Pillman, he wasn't no slouch either. Pillman could work. And I think they said management, Dusty wanted to keep them together. It was Dusty Rhodes' idea to put them as a tag team, and he wanted to keep them together. But management was like, no, we can't have that because, they said they didn't see nothing in Austin. And I don't understand that. And Pillman was just a company guy, so he willing to do whatever.
No, I could tell you why they didn't see it in Austin back then, because they didn't want to. They didn't give him. I mean, they gave him the U.S. title. Granted, you had a good feud with Steamboat, but look how you lost it. Like they were,
and then Jim Duggan. Don't forget that one. Oh my goodness.
Which one?
You remember the one where against Hacksaw Jim Duggan?
I just said when he lost the belt to Duggan. I'm like they was afraid to push him to the next level. I mean, he had it all. He can wrestle. When they talk, he can talk. But when they started cutting his hair, when they cut his hair and put they should have just kept him stunning Steve with the roll, with the long hair. They should have did that, because he was in Memphis. Even when he was in Memphis, he was still, a young Steve Austin.
Right.
He saw that potential in him. But yeah, they were way good at advertising. They should have never broke them up. And they probably been, one of the best teams out there. And they would have ran the Attitude Era as a tag team.
Oh, of course. They would have been multiple times tag team champions as well.
I would love to see DX go at it. That
was, right. Oh man. That's money right there.
Yeah, that would have been perfect money.
Right.
Well, let's go on to the next question. And we're talking about Mick Foley on this one. Which company do you think he gave the best promos? I'm gonna say, to me, ECW.
I'm the same way.
I mean, ECW. It's just like he just went in and he cut the camera on, and he was good, and he was money.
Mm-hmm.
And they let him talk. They didn't press him for time. And you could tell, and even if it was scripted, you can look at him and say, "Damn, was this scripted?" Because he was he was speaking from the heart. Even when he bought the WCW tag belt, the ECW, you talk about the what was the one, the Kane Dewey.
Kane Dewey, yep.
I'm like, you can't write that. You can't write nothing like that.
No, that came from his heart.
Good, and
that came from his heart.
Again, because it was true.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one thing
that's his son.
Right. Yeah. And that's the one thing I used to love about ECW and Paul Heyman. He cut the camera just like what he did with Austin. You cut the camera on, go.
Mm-hmm.
Say what's on your mind. Because I think the best promo comes from your heart.
It does.
And WWE, I think one thing about WWE, I don't think they get that. I think they do, but of course they want to have riders. They want everything to be so Hollywood. But if you let them start talking from the heart, because I think probably one of the very few people that didn't do that, maybe like Rock or Austin.
Mm-hmm.
But you can tell people now when they talk like with the Bill and Sasha thing, you can tell that's scripted.
Oh yeah, that's why I miss the old days. The old days, man, they made you believe it. You know,
right? And that's why I say, and when he was in ECW, even though he wasn't there for a long period, but when he was there, when he had Mikey Whipwreck with him, I mean, them promo like, okay, I go roll with this. So even if nothing he said was true, you can believe it. And that's one thing that we always talk about Mike Skills 101. You know, that's one guy that I think a lot of people slept on. That's
Mick Foley. Mm-hmm.
Now
in WCW, he did pretty well in that, especially his feud with Vader. I think his promos were pretty good. I think that in WCW's terms, the feud with Vader and his promos, that was pretty good as well.
Oh yeah, they took it there. I think for that feud, they went above and beyond, especially once he hurt the ear and he came back.
Mm-hmm.
He was definitely nailing it. But now this is an odd one.
Okay.
We're talking about Taryn and Terrell, Devon's twin sons.
Mm-hmm.
Now we seen them on. I don't know if you remember. I know they was on TV doing security for an episode. But do you see them in the WWE soon?
Not at this moment. I don't think not right now though. Not right now.
I'm gonna say this. I don't think I've seen them wrestle. They're not ready. They're not. Let me say this. They're not WWE ready. I think this is the times where they need companies like Evolve. It's coming like they could have went to Evolve, got their feet wet, and then went to NXT.
Yeah.
But see,
they're not even indie ready, right?
No, they've been on the indie. They've been tag champs on the indies. So indie ready, yes. I'll give them that. They're indie ready.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't. If they come to WWE, I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. And this is what they're doing now with Dominic Mysterio. They pushing him too fast, and he gonna fade fast.
Yeah.
And actually, one of the questions here that we'll get to later in the show, but yeah, I don't think they need to come on TV right now. Because one, they need to figure out what they're gonna do with them. You can't make them Dudleys. Well, you could, but that wouldn't make any sense.
Mm-mm.
And they gotta be their own. I mean, they're some big boys. I mean, they're some big boys. They're one of they big boys, but they got that baby face.
Yeah, that'd be a good baby face tag team.
That'd be a good mix. That's why I say that's why they need companies like Evolve. Let them go down there. Let them see what they can do. And when they're ready, bring them down to NXT.
All right.
So sorry, Devon, we love you, but your kid's not ready. Now I know I gotta hear your answer on this. Thoughts on Retribution? And before you even say that, let's talk about the names of the males. Slapjack, Mace, and what's the other one? Was it Thor or some crap like that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Kind of reminds me of MC Gusto, Dead Mike, and Stab Master Arson.
Right. I said it looks like a reject version of Slipknot.
Right.
Nah.
And I think Dominic Dijakovic, he looked like Bane.
Yes. Nah. So they signed contracts, so now they can do what they want. Now,
What about the women? Is she Mia Yim and Mercedes Martinez?
right? Who are now? See that's the problem I got with this. You have Mia Yim, great wrestler. Mercedes Martinez, great wrestler. You got Shane Thorne, he can go. Dominic Dijakovic, he can go. Dio Madden, he was the announcer at one time.
Yeah, Brock Lesnar took him out.
Brock Lesnar took him out, so now they all come back looking like this. This is stupid to me. I'm sorry.
They had a good thing going. They had the thing with the hoodies and all that. That was cool. But then once I saw that, I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, oh my God. I said, this is, and Dominic Dijakovic should have came in. I would have brought him in. I would have either let him keep feuding with Keith Lee because they always had good matches on NXT, or make them a team in some case.
And then his voice, and then the way he was talking, I was like, if you could gargle with some warm salt water, you can get rid of that.
Right. I mean, just let this do that. Take care of that. Right.
I'm like, are you serious?
And you got all these fools running around. I mean, this is stupid. I don't see this lasting long, but apparently they got some plans for them.
And what's making them legitimate is the Hurt business.
Thank you. Which, to be honest with you, the Hurt business don't need to be baby faces.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, huh?
To me, that's gonna kill their momentum because they need to be heels. They have to be.
Yeah.
Now, go ahead.
Oh boy. No, I was just thinking, why, you got MVP, you got Cedric Alexander, you got Shelton Benjamin, you got Bobby Lashley. All them guys are heel. I'm like, why? I'm assuming, this is my guess, I'm assuming since they fulfilling their services to WWE, to take them out. So pretty much the Hurt business don't need to be babies nor heels. They need to be neutral. They're called the Hurt business. That means they hurt anybody. Right. They don't care who you are.
So like how the APA used to be. They go out and just get that money and do what they got to do. But yeah, like I said, this Retribution is stupid.
It is.
I mean, like I said, me and him, you can't hide them eyes. You can cover all that. You can't hide them eyes and her demeanor. Or say
you could see sister written all over her. Yeah.
Right. And Martinez, her posture just gave her away. And then the storyline, how she's no longer with the Robert Stone brand, that gave that away. I'm just curious to see what they're gonna do with this. I'm curious to see, once Survivor Series roll around, how they gonna play this. If they do the Hurt business thing, or they gonna add another male to make it 4-on-4.
And I'm glad you mentioned that. I wanted to mention this here. MVP said on Raw Talk that he would like to add a female to the Hurt business. And already, as soon as he said that, a name just popped into my head.
Who you got?
And people may think that like, oh, you talking about Nia Jax. No, I wouldn't be mad at it. But here's the name that popped in my head. Naomi.
Yeah, I was already about to say that.
Because the glow got to go. If she doing that.
Yeah, that definitely got to go. I'd rather go back to the what was that group when Team Bad?
Yeah, I was about to say Team Bad. She need to act like when she was with Team Bad. Yeah.
And she's barely on TV. Yeah, I'm thinking come draft time, that's probably gonna happen. If they keep the four of them together, she's going in. Let's go on to the next question we got. Should Impact Wrestling have a Thunderdome type atmosphere? Meaning, should they have all the little screens around, their venue like WWE does?
Nah, I don't think so. I think it's fine the way it is right now. It fits them, They're not worried about. They're doing their own thing. They're not worried about the competition. That's one thing I like about Impact. Props to Scott D'Amore, by the way. He's doing a phenomenal job over there.
Most definitely on that one.
So yeah, I don't think they don't need one, not really.
I'm kind of on the fence about it. I would say probably not for the TV shows. I would say maybe for the pay-per-views, maybe. I mean, if people's paying for it, they could at least give them some type of feel of being there. But like when they're just doing their regular shows, and it's not necessary. I mean, it still feel kind of weird because it's quiet in there. But
yeah,
like I said, you're right. You know, they're doing their own thing. It's working for them. So a lot of people thought Impact wouldn't last this long because Impact came about 03?
03. Mm-hmm.
And the thing is 2020. So you got to give them props. I mean, they've been different names and they've gone through different channels, but yet they still around. And I think now, you know, we really about to see what they can do. I mean, they're getting fresh faces in there. They're giving, you know, different talent opportunities. And like I said, that's definitely a Scott D'Amore thing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to the next question here. Let me see, because it's a long one. Okay, now this is going into the New Japan aspect. They're like, do you agree with one man holding both the IWGP Heavyweight and Intercontinental title?
Have that been done before?
They've been doing it lately.
Okay. I'm thinking in the past. That's why I'm going back.
In the past, no. But like I said, they've been doing it lately. So now, who's the champion now? Tatsuya Naito, 3-time IWGP champion, 6-time Intercontinental champion. You know, he won it from Evil. Like they're going back and forth with the title. But I'm going to say on this one, I'll agree with it depending on who has it.
Okay.
If I got to say like Naito, I would agree with it. You know, he's one of those big names in New Japan. I mean, everybody love him, everybody hate him, and he's that championship material type guy.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna depend. But see, one thing about New Japan roster is so big.
Right.
It's big, so you know, having one man hold it, they're gonna have to put in work, and then they're making them, you know, undisputed title matches. You might as well just say.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna depend on who holds it. Like I wouldn't want to think of a good like Juice Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, great wrestler. He was the United States champion, but that wouldn't fit him.
Right. So it all depends on who.
Yeah, it all depends on who has it. Just like John Moxley. Yeah, he's the United States champion now.
I can see that. Yeah.
See, that'll be a hard sell because he's hardly in New Japan. And then that's what I'm trying to go with. It's gonna have to be somebody like Naito, Okada, Kenta, like that.
Yeah.
They gotta put it. They're gonna do this. They're gonna have to put a name on it.
Right.
But again, this is the Get Snap podcast. It's Wednesday night, and as always on a Wednesday night, we answering the questions. So we gonna have a good time doing it. And like I said, apologize that we sound a little on that somber side. No, we're gonna still try to keep y'all entertained. You know, a lot went on today. You know, a lot of stuff hit us hard. And especially if you're a wrestling fan, I know if you've been on social media, you saw it. I mean, everybody from fans to wrestlers to legends, everybody's been talking about the passing of Road Warrior Animal. But we're going to go into our next question. Now, I saw some articles on this, but I'm interested in hearing your take on it. Should Roman Reigns get a new look and new music?
Actually, no. He don't need the look he got is fine. I have no problem. You mean as far as clothes?
Yeah, because you remember when he first came to NXT, you know, he actually wore tights, boobs. You know, he showed his physique.
Yeah.
And a lot of people think he may go back to that since he's a heel.
I mean, I was gonna say get the Shield look off, but kind of modify it a little bit. You know, to break away from that Shield look. I mean, I'm cool with the vest, but just modify it. You know.
I would say if he goes new gear, if he he needs to wear wrestling tight pants with designs or something on there.
Yeah.
Maybe like the Roman Empire on there, or since now they're calling him like the chief, he could put that on the side of his tights.
Yeah.
He need to go that route. I think he needs to get out of the Shield thing completely.
Okay.
Because I think that's kind of over and done. The Shield's been broken up long enough, and he the only one hasn't really got out of that element yet. I mean, if he's gonna go full blown here, especially with Heyman, I think he need to change his look a little bit. At least the gear.
Yeah, the hair and the beard is fine.
Yeah, hair and the beard is fine. I ain't fine with the shirt, but I would say take those Shield pants off, put some tights on.
Mm-hmm.
Just design them up, get a heel look. Now the only thing that's kind of killing it for me is them teeth.
Oh my goodness.
He need to stop smiling because he needs to keep that sinister look at all times.
Right.
But there's those rumors that might happen. And I'm thinking it might come sooner or later. I want to see, what's gonna happen after the clash. Will he do it then or will he do it after? But I think depending on how the match goes with Jay, I think should determine if he really needs to change. Because if he goes like ultra heel, yeah, you need to change your look a little bit.
Right.
Let's jump on to the next question. This is talking about Cowboy James Storm. He's his NWA contract expired. Was one half of the NWA World Tag Team Champions. So the question is, should Cowboy James look, I can't get that out. Should Cowboy James Storm come back to NXT? And if so, should Eli Drake join him?
Oh, that's a tough one there. That's a good question. A very good question. Now, James Storm, I know James Storm said in the interview that AAA said he's welcome back anytime, after his little first run with NXT. So should he bring Eli Drake with him? Yes, I believe he should bring Eli Drake, but I believe, to be honest, I see Eli Drake more as a single star.
Agreed.
He can bring him along, but I need to see Eli as a single star. They can do something where, Eli turns on James or whatever, and then he goes on his own. But see, Eli shines when he's by himself.
Almost.
With the the dummy, all that by himself.
See, this was gonna kill me. If Eli Drake ever come to WWE, they're not gonna let him do that. We're not gonna see the segments. We're not gonna get the dummy. We're not gonna get the button that he used to have.
Yeah,
that's what made him. You got to bring the Facts of Life segment on there.
And see, with a crowd like that, he need to have a crowd to do that.
I would love to see him feud with Miz and Morrison. Just him by himself. I would love to see them go at it with them two.
Right. Talk for talk. Yeah.
Just go talk for talk.
Yeah.
Because I remember when James Storm did come to NXT, it looked funny to me.
Mm-hmm.
That's just one of those ones like, is this gonna stick? And he just didn't look right in NXT at that time. But maybe like I said, it was just one of those things that just happened. Nobody really saw it coming.
He was kind of like that veteran that everybody knew he was that tight. Like, oh, we know who he is,
Yeah, but the fact he left Impact when he did.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I said he had maybe 2 or 3 matches, if that. I said if he comes back, they need to really roll out the red carpet for him, especially, depending on what happens in the draft.
Yeah.
Because I think he'll have some real good feuds in NXT. Because he might, like I said, because if he goes to the main, if he ever goes to Raw, SmackDown, I will see him more of a SmackDown guy.
Mm-hmm.
I can see him being the Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah.
If anything.
And then he knows AJ. I like to see him and AJ. They know each other anyway.
Right. So. That'll make a hell of feud.
Mm-hmm.
So, but we definitely gonna switch this Sept. So this September, it says contracts up. So I don't know what he's doing now, but he's probably kind of looking around and seeing what's out there. I wouldn't mind it. And like I said, they're gonna have to really push it.
Now AEW, I don't know about.
AEW,
I
I
can
don't.
see him there. I kind of see him there, but I don't know though.
I can't see him there. I can't. It definitely would look weird. I definitely see him like I said doing the NXT thing. So I say they'll probably push him better, and
Mm-hmm.
and coming from WWE, that's a hard statement to make. Really depending on who the wrestler is.
Right. Because they always say about Vince, giving up on people too quickly.
Right.
He just, so yeah.
Let's go on to the next one. I don't know if you've played it yet. I have, but the question is, what are your thoughts on WWE Battlegrounds games so far?
You know what? I actually like it, especially the campaign. The campaign is pretty fun. The steel cage match is interesting. I like that.
Gotta
Where
grab
the cage electrifies and you grab money. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's different. I like it. It's pretty good.
I've been playing it. I'm still I'm like halfway through the story mode. I think the one where you throw them at the alligator and they put them in the mouth and the alligator catch them. I think that's very different. It took me a minute to figure out how to use the helicopter.
All right, it's over the top, so it's kind of like WWE All Stars was.
Yeah.
So,
but I like how they, depending on like if you're a cruiserweight, you can't just start picking folks up like you want to. They
like
count.
You can't pick Andre the Giant up. No.
you got to figure out ways to be. But I definitely like it. I can't wait till they start bringing in, because it's a large roster that they have. So they're gonna slowly start when they start doing the DLCs and everything. But yeah, but I definitely like it. It definitely has a twist to it. Right. And I definitely was a fan of WWE All Stars. I love that game. I still play it to this day.
Yeah.
So I'm glad they kind of shifted. I would say shift left a little bit and gave us something different. But like I said, once it'll be even funner to me once we get the full roster. Because if you saw that list, it's a lot.
Man, it's a who's who on that list, no doubt.
It's pretty much the whole WWE roster present plus legends.
Right.
So it really don't get better than that. So, it's been out a good week, going on a week.
Mm-hmm.
And so far, so good.
Yeah.
Let's see. Next question here. Now, this is actually talking about the Jerry Lawler 50th anniversary show, which is this Saturday night at the Jackson Park Stadium. I'm definitely excited. I know this is going to be good. And then I found out one of our who that we like a lot, Teddy Long, has been added.
Oh, Ted Long, okay.
Teddy Long has been added. But what are your expectations of that show?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a great show. It ain't gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a great show. There's a who's who of legends that's gonna be there, and then for the price, you can't beat it.
No. It's definitely one of those shows you have to go to. You have to, because one, how many wrestlers celebrate 50 years?
It's a long time, man. 1970.
That's number one. He's still going 50 years ago. Most of his people he wrestled are not even here anymore.
Mm-mm.
I would have loved it if Ric Flair would have came.
Oh, that would have been great.
I would have loved it. But just the names alone, just the list of names. Present stars, past wrestlers you probably haven't seen in a long time. And to be honest with you, I would love, if I get a chance, I want to meet Lex Luger.
Yeah, that'll be somebody to meet. Yeah,
I definitely like to meet the total package.
Mm-hmm.
I will go all day. That's one of the ones we're probably gonna be. Y'all probably gonna have to get there early.
Oh, you definitely gotta get there, especially parking.
Yeah, this is $10 to park, and then I found out they're gonna have a Brian Christopher mural there.
Even better.
From what I read, so they're gonna have a lot of his old clothing, probably have some pictures and stuff. So that's definitely something. You definitely got to see. But my expectations, like yours, as a fan, I just want to have fun matches. The legends are gonna be there. I mean, it would have been real nice if they was able to pack that stadium. But the fact that they said they can fit about 1,000 people, a little over that. I mean, that's still a lot of people. Because I know, and to know a ball stadium, they if they could, they would have packed it. They probably would have had seats all on the field. So I'm definitely looking forward to them having something memorable for him because he wanted Burt Prentice to do it.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm definitely excited. I'm probably gonna have some, how they say, mark out moments.
Oh yeah. You got to. There's no doubt. You got to do that, especially on a day like that. Also kind of remind you of the old Redbirds Stadium days. Remember that?
Oh yeah. So again, it's this Saturday night. I believe it's 7:30 bell time. But if you want to get information, you can go to USA Championship Wrestling's Facebook page, or you can go back and listen to the Get Snap podcast. We did a whole show just talking about that. We gave you the card, we gave you the times, we gave our opinion. So the sources are out there. So if you're not there, you're gonna regret it on the 27th. I promise you that. But let's go to the next question. Now, there's been some talks about Daniel Cormier coming to the WWE. Now, I saw yesterday watching ESPN, I saw Booker T kind of make some statements about Daniel Cormier. Would you like to see Daniel Cormier in the WWE? And if so, who should he go after first?
Well, I'm going to say this here. Now, Daniel Cormier, he's a wrestling fan. He mentioned that before. Now, would I like to see him in WWE? Of course, you got Ronda Rousey. She's an MMA fighter. I mean, why not? Shayna Baszler, Daniel Cormier, he got a wrestling background.
Yeah.
So he's already an athlete. So, and I think the person I want him with it may be a long shot though, but I say Brock Lesnar because they've been trying to
push that for the longest.
Longest, right. And then this will be the perfect time to do it.
Well, I'm going to go two ways with it. If he comes in as wrestler, he needs to go after Lashley.
Oh, that'll be good.
I think him and Lashley need to go at it. But I'm gonna throw a little monkey wrench. Now hear me on this. If he comes in, you know where he should start? Raw Underground.
Yeah.
Go to Raw.
That'd be good.
Go to Raw Underground. Somebody would come in and say, "I'll fight anybody," and he gets stuck.
Right. That'll be good.
And just start laying folks out. But let's stay on Raw Underground for a minute. I'm gonna jump questions here. And do you think Double Kato got buried on the last episode?
Let's see. Yeah, I don't think I think he kind of did. It's kind of 50-50. Wasn't that dude? He was formerly Babatunde.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. With Braun Strowman, man, not really. I don't think he did. Of course, Braun Strowman. Them two big guys. So that could have went either way with them two. But it's kind of 50-50 for me.
I think how they finished it kind of made them look weak. Cause when you beating up everybody, and then boom, and he pretty much just laid you out one punch. So I'm thinking he's probably gonna get ready to hit the ring soon.
Yeah.
Because right now, if you try to go back to Underground, it's not gonna make you look as big and bad as you were. Well, Strowman came. And what's up with the female interviewer?
Who that?
The little female they have for Raw Underground. I don't know. I don't
know her name. Yeah.
I was like, oh, they really reaching now with this. But I'm really starting to go because they is when I think one of the reasons they trying to make Dolph Ziggler look tough, and I think that's gonna benefit him in the long run. I think that might end up changing his look and his gimmick.
Yeah.
To be honest with
and also
he needs
and
it.
Another thing too, is that they need to keep pushing the women on there as well, like Jessamine Duke and Marina Shafir.
I definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
They need to do more women matches, so to speak.
Yeah.
It looks like we're seeing the same people going on there fighting each other. I mean,
right, Riddick Mosses and all them, yeah. So we got Riddick Moss and the formerly with the Babatunde and all them fighting. Yeah.
If y'all gonna go with it, I mean, put a lot of the guys you're not using on there if y'all gonna go that route.
Right.
And let's see what they can do. Let's go to the next question. This is involving Bianca Belair. Is she ready for a push? For a strong push?
Oh, she's been ready. She's been ready. She got the charisma. She can talk, you know. Yeah, I believe she's ready. They need to go ahead and do this right now. Do it ASAP. They don't need to wait any longer.
And now they doing the vignettes where she, outperforming men. Because I'm gonna be real. I think she should have got the shot at Clash of Champions. Because there should be no explanation why she had never been NXT Women's Champion.
Right.
She should have been NXT Women's Champion. But see, that was at that time. Who was champion? Shayna Baszler?
Shayna Baszler,
Because even when she lost it, Bianca should have at least had one title reign. Because you bring her up, I mean, you barely see her. She's on main event most of the time.
Yeah.
I mean, she's too talented for that. And I'm thinking she's probably gonna get traded to SmackDown.
Yeah, she don't need to go to Raw, not really, because I don't think it's made for her. SmackDown is made for her, definitely.
I think she'll have better feuds.
Right.
I think she'll have better feuds. And then, like I said, even if she went back to NXT, she'll probably be the top. She'll be the top woman there. She'll be champion. She'll probably be a dominant champion. But like I said, if she does go back, this will be the perfect time to do it. But she needs a push. It's her time. But you're not gonna do all this talking about her, and then you do nothing.
All right.
That's
why I'm afraid about. That's why I'm afraid about these talented people going to the main roster. Like once you up there, that's it. Your career's done basically.
Yeah, but look at Retribution about to be the prime example of that.
Oh yeah, and then as talented as Mia Yim and Mercedes Martinez is, it's gonna hurt me to see that.
Yeah, it's doing that, and like I said, I don't see it lasting very long. I really don't. At least I'm gonna say this. At least for the females,
right?
They need to be. If you're not gonna, push them separate, I'll at least team them up and go after them tag titles.
There you go. Me and you, Mercedes Martinez, right? Have them team up, go after the tag belts, and they'll be good champions.
Now this is a funny one. This one I have you thinking. Who would you like to see in a WWE film?
Who would I like to see? Oh, I thought that was options.
So, like I said, when we got all these WWE superstars, who would you like to see make a movie?
Man, this is gonna take me all night to think of who.
one. I got one. If they sell it right, it will work. I like the MVP.
With the whole Hurt Business.
Yeah, do like a what was what was that show, like a Ballers type movie?
Baller. Yeah.
Where he doing something with sports and making a lot of money. I wouldn't even say not necessarily like fighting, but doing something he's like an agent or something. And
right.
I love seeing him doing something like that. I mean, that kind of fits him.
Right.
I mean, he can be out there having the money, having the cars, having the women. You know, people trying to say he corrupt.
Corrupt, yeah.
I mean, he can still have Lashley. Lashley could be like the bodyguard or something.
Right.
And then
Shelton could be like one of the
Gonna be like one of the ones out there doing all that talking.
Right. And then Cedric, he'll be like the kind of like the street guy, like, you know, kind of promote him, you know.
Yeah, he'll have he'll be like the eyes of the streets. So he knows
right.
Like that informant for the hood.
All right, there you go.
They can call the movie The Hurt Business. I watch it.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, let's see what we got. Oh, this is funny. Let's see how much time we got. We still got a good amount of time. What are your thoughts on George Janela and Sonny Kiss calling themselves the new Midnight Express?
This is so stupid. Really? Is that even a question?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that has to be without a doubt the dumbest name you could. You mean to tell me you couldn't think of anything else?
No,
besides the Midnight Express. I can't wait till Jim Cornette hears about this.
He already has. He already put a cease and desist on it. He already know. Oh, he
got to hear that then on the podcast. I'll probably do that once we get off here.
Oh, he hasn't. I don't believe he said anything on the podcast
I don't like
yet, but I believe he put a cease and desist out. I'm like, first of all, y'all team itself is just weird. I mean, he was supposed to be the bad boy, and you hang out with Sonny Kiss, you know, all flamboyant, and you would swear to God, you would swear to God if you didn't know, you really would think he's a female. He can wrestle like one. That's the funny part.
Right. Right. Yeah,
he got every night. If you did not know that was a man, he wrestles like a female. Great athlete. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
Great athlete.
Oh yeah.
Talented.
I just don't understand this Express thing. You know, you got the Jurassic Express. I mean what's up with the Express? I don't understand. What is the new? I guess the new, of course, with Bodacious Bard and with it bombastic Bard, Bodacious Bob or whatever. Bart, excuse me. So I guess they going new Midnight. So, but I don't like the name. They could have come up with something.
I really think they did that purposely, because they knew Jim Cornette was gonna blow a gasket. I think they had to.
Did you think they were trolling them?
That's my opinion, but that's what they call themselves. Mm-hmm. I mean, they probably never won the AEW tag belts. George, you the bad boy.
No, not with that name.
And you got this, and then you got Sonny Kiss. Right. Y'all, you talk about an odd couple.
Definitely. I didn't understand it at first, but I guess they're trying to make it work. But they need to come up with a new name, though. Oh, well, Sonny Kiss calls himself the Concrete Rose, and George Janela, of course, he's the bad boy. I don't know, man. It's better anything but that. Anything but that.
Bad and bougie Midnight or something like that.
Midnight Express. So, something right there. You go. Yeah,
twisting,
bad and beautiful, or something
goofy, something that fits y'all.
Right.
Sugar and spice.
Right. Sugar and spice, yeah.
If you listen to, we need to come up with some names, because if you listen to Jim Cornette Experience, they had a lot of people that brought up some names. Some of them they probably shouldn't have never said. Everybody was all over the place with the names. But we need to come up with a name for this team that works. They like it. We can get royalties off this.
Please. Right. Yo, so shoot an email at the Get Snap podcast. If you
go to
www.snapcustoms.com.
Come to our page, and I'm sorry, had a lot going on. I haven't done the Facebook page yet, but it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. I promise. But this is our last question for the night. Spoilers. Do you like them? Should we have them? Are they necessary? Spoilers.
Who is? Spoilers? No. That's what made the wrestling business is unpredictability. You keep you guessing. That's what it's about. I mean, why I want to know something before the show, I want to see. I just want to see it and see what happens. Spoilers is very bad to me. It always has been, but I guess for convenience, people can look at it like if they don't have time to watch it or whatever, they can see it. But I'm talking about like as a real true wrestling fan, you don't want to see that. You want to be surprised.
It's killed a lot. It kills a lot of viewership. It kills a lot of viewership because you remember back in the 80s and the 90s. See, you the only way you'll know is A, you had to be there, or two, you go get the wrestling magazines. Not a lot of people was getting the wrestling magazines.
Right. But they didn't have no Twitter, no DQ.com, and all these other wrestling news sources and all that. They didn't have that back then.
And just now, you could. And then you have like a lot of live stream that's doing results. And, some of depending on where you live, they'll get it way ahead of time. So yeah, spoilers is not fun. I mean, it could be fun, but like I said, it's ruined a lot of viewership. So if you already know what's going on, but see, like me, I'll watch it anyway. Because I still want to see, how it led to that. But, a lot of them, they'll need a whole breakdown. So you read it and go back to it. You like, yeah, they did say that. Yeah, but the spoilers, they need to stop. Right. Let's go back to the 80s and the 90s. But what anticipation was like, what is going to happen? Is he going to show up? I mean, we didn't even have predictions back then.
Right.
Even people talking about, that this person was in the building.
We like, where is he at? They didn't never say.
We never knew who was there. We never knew if somebody was coming. You literally had to watch it.
Yep.
And if you didn't watch it, then you'll find out. Right when it's all.
Some of your friends give you by word of mouth, sometimes.
Yeah, because at least one friend, we had that one friend who had cable and had that hooked up where he get all the pay-per-views but didn't pay for it. Had them brown cable boxes. That was your go-to dude for pay-per-views. Right, if he lived close, you'll go to the house.
Right.
Shoot, I definitely remember them days because I was always one of those people that was either I had the scramblers or I had somebody record it for me and just pay him to do it and had the tapes. But we are out of time, ladies and gentlemen. Yep. I told you,
Man, already?
the best
Man.
60 minutes of your life, it is over. But before we roll out, like we said earlier, we talked about all the events that's going on for USA Championship Wrestling. You already missed tonight, so you got Thursday, Friday. You got the Jerry Lawler event, Saturday night, Jackson Ballpark. And I believe there's a USA Championship Wrestling taping, and if that's the case, that is actually free if they do it on Sunday. So enough wrestling. Then you got the pay-per-view, which we will do a Clash of Champions prediction show. Probably do that on Friday night, probably after SmackDown. So just to make sure they don't add any matches. So be listening for that. And as always, thank you guys for listening to us. I'm gonna watch the rest of this game. It's about to be over in a little bit. I'm probably shutting it down early. No sitting up all night tonight. But again,
no sir.
Thank you guys for listening. We definitely appreciate you as always. Y'all know who I am. I'm Darnell Sparrow. We got Antoine Smooth on the other side of Memphis. And this has been the Get Snap Podcast. And as always, get snap, and we out.
Peace out.